Your Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Pitch AgriHack and AYuTe Africa's Winners Showcase. My name is Sherrie Silva, and I am a choreographer, creative director, and United Nations IFAD advocate for rural youths. As a daughter of Rwanda, with my roots in this country's farmlands, I understand why so many young people move to big, vibrant cities. It offers hope of hyper-modern, tech-based jobs. Cities run on technology. It makes complicated tasks look easy. For kids growing up in hardship, the perception often associated with technology is luxury and easy money. And for the last century, this has indeed been the case. The truth is that we have only in the last few decades began to realize the true cost of our actions. Rainwater has become unsafe to drink due to toxic PFAS. Fish taken from our polluted waters are riddled with microplastics. And they are now so ubiquitous that they have even entered the human bloodstream. Unfettered use of pesticides has driven our pollinating insects into collapse. And the overuse of fertilizers have created massive offshore dead zones in the ocean. The old ways of working must change. Luckily, what has started as conversations on food systems, transformation, and combating climate change has quickly become action. Now, the fusion of agriculture and advanced digital technologies is empowering young people with new opportunities and new jobs that didn't exist just 10 years ago. Importantly, youth-led African agri-tech offers solutions to the climate puzzle. All over the planet, young people are coming together to find solutions for this climate crisis. These young people are taking charge. They see a tomorrow where humanity comes together to rebuild a healthy planet, where we harness technology to do much more with far fewer resources, where we manage and minimize our human footprint and encourage the return of biodiversity and natural spaces, where we collaborate with each other for a more effective and efficient world without poverty, hunger, and waste. Today, we have some of these entrepreneurial youth with us, and their solutions are just so inspiring. Thank you guys for being here with us. Agricultural technology and decades of agronomic research in climate-smart, environmentally sustainable farming techniques have the potential to revitalize rural communities. Where technology meets farming, it creates attractive, tech-based jobs that give the youth viable options for a fulfilling livelihood, where they can come together and create predictable prosperity for their communities.
I'm a tractor owner, and before now I hire tractor for farmers to service their farm during the farm season. Last year, 2021, I personally lost 500,000 naira for money paid for tractor, but work could not be done. Tractor got damaged, the owner took it away, did not bring it, farm season over, and we lost the money. So I've already planned to leave the business until pay-as-you-go scheme came in, and I was assured by 2 factors. Number one, I'll have a tractor, new tractor to myself, and I don't need to pay all the whole money at once.
I've gone to several places to seek a way in which I can own a tractor. I've gone to several banks. I'd even saved with a certain bank, and they gave me a lot of requirements that as a lay farmer I could not be able to meet. It's an uphill task. So as I compare the other credit facilities arrangement and this Hello Tractor pay as you go, this one is just a walk-off.
Me and my husband were into rice production. It has been our dream to own a tractor, but we are unable to have tractor all this while because we did not have the money to purchase one. And we have been searching, even doing some research about where to get tractor. Some of them that we see online, because of the money problem, we are unable to get them. And here we are, we have this Hello Tractor. The day the tractor entered this community, all of them, they were very, very happy. People are happy, we are happy, because we are the owner now.
I started as a booking agent last year with my dad. We went around, he was also a booking agent, so we went around booking farms in Koita, Yangoji, and Paiko, Dafa. I was planning to use it as a side income for myself to earn just little money. As a booking agent, I actually saw that the demand for tractor services were high, and one of the minimum requirements for owning a tractor under the pay-as-you-go model of Hello Tractor was booking at least 500 hectares of land. And from just 2 of my servicing areas, I was able to get more than the required number of hectares, 2 areas. Another requirement to owning a tractor under the pay-as-you-go model was to pay a down payment of 1 million naira. And thankfully and surprisingly, Hello Tractor waived that part for me because I was the only female booking agent who showed interest in owning a tractor at that time. Now that the tractor is mine, I can actually be a little more competitive with the pricing because now I can actually reduce prices for some of the farmers because it's now my tractor.
This is a perfect system for me as a tractor owner, for the farmers and for the community. We are pulling people out of poverty by getting them to have more yield from their farms. We have employed 2 staff now. That is taking people out of unemployment. If we have more tractor, more people will get engaged, and we are going.
Manam tay da nga wara dem tool pour engrais mu ne la tay day taw ndox mu reuy nga baña yobbu engrais ndax so engrais mu taw ci ndox mu reuy engrais bobu day nasax kon fofu amna important ci walu engrais kon lolu dana indi fofu avantage.
Bay dafa doon sama problème mais depuis 2001 bobu la commencé bay ay fa ñew gën ñoo dooleel ndax wa ay fa gungé nañu ci message yi fu nawet bi wara tollu bu nekké cycle bi dafa wara gatt dinañu ko wax bu nekké dafa wara gudd dinañu ko wax bu boba ñun dinañ taamu jiw bu baax wo xamné mengo na ak nawet bi ñu bay ko dem nañ ba lolo tax ñu gëna am yaakaar ci mbay bi ñun jigen fi daanu bay mais légui dañoo dem ci banque man daanu ma am gerte daanu ma am dugub mais damay am légui dugub damay am gerte ndax dam ubina compte banque damay dem ñu lebal ma suivre nak message ci ay feuy
bon message yi nga xamné tay ji ñu koy jot ci walu météo bon message yu am njëriñ la parce que dana tax ñu mëna planifier légui suñuy opération bon daan nañ demati def légui suñuy herbicide yalla ji taw mais depuis ñu commencé di am légui message yi suñu pertement yooyu ñu daan am légui ci mbay mi wàññeeku na.
Participation bi nga xam ne ay fa ñëw na jàppale ko FEPROMAS pour que membre mi am nekk ci au top maanaam di jël information yi à temps ñun dañu foogoon ne lu tuuti rek la mën a jël mais dafa ñëw jëlee ñu 2300 membres et quelques pour que ñooñu mën à tout moment di jot information.
I've been farming for the far back over 30 years ago. Prior to the coming of this Pula insurance scheme, we used to go with National Agricultural Insurance Corporation, NAIC, where we insure our farms. And in most situations, at the point of disasters, what normally comes is not commensurate with the cost of producing a hectare of rice. So in one of our CAP meetings in the VCDP office in Benue State, Olam Nigeria Limited brought officials of this Pula insurance scheme last year. And one good thing about it, at the point of cultivating our rice, it is when our farmers now need money now to put on their farms. But when they brought the scheme, the conditions were that we will not pay the premium at the point of when we are cultivating our rice. But at the end of the day, when we harvest our products, we now go to Olam, which is our off-taker, we pay, and the premium will now be deducted as some.
It's about the float and both of them, because before they were talking about insurance, we were that time it didn't come as Pula, as this insurance scheme, because that time they said that we should register insurance. When you register, when you have the challenge, going to the office, they will say you should go there. Why didn't you tell us in time? This is blah, 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 blah. So some of us, if you have the challenge, we'll be scared to go there until Pula came last year.
You know, before I didn't apply for it, and those that were working with insurance, they really appreciate it, and they told me that I should try my best to apply for the insurance scheme.
The day that I saw a lot from my phone, I said, the day published that paper, I was asking my colleague, have you seen a lot? This one said, no, I have not seen a lot. Until I asked my LO that what is happening. He said, if I see anything, it is Pula. I jumped up 20 times and come down.
If you now ask me to use money to insure my farm when I need money now to buy inputs, you understand? But in this situation, instead of using that money to pay for the premium at a point which I needed one or two things now to put on my farm, I can now use the money and now put it inside the farm. So by the time I now treat it as based on the best agronomic practices, and when I harvest, I'm going to have bumper yields. So by the time I now submit my paddy and now pay at that harvest time, it means I won't feel the pains again.
You can see, some years when you have some people cultivate lowland areas, some cultivate upland. So when it comes to a year where there is a flood, you see that people that farm along the lowland level land, they are being affected. Then these ones in the upland, they gain harvest. And any year that you see that there is no enough rain, you see that those ones in the lowland area will benefit, and those that farm on the upland area will not get enough rain for their year to produce well. Last year, Poland came up that they want to register farmers for insurance. We were like, oh, other insurance companies have been coming and they have been failing. People were not motivated to join. I want to say thank you to Poland. For them, they did the program, and this year there was a smile on farmers' face. I want to thank IFAD, I want to thank Allan Nigeria and Poland Nigeria. They have really impacted in farmers this year.
Kwa pula va eve have kwa olunga alun kame kane gudu setla se kulene pula va kuleve kawe kuleve kulene pula va ha kulene kwala do bingandi.
Wow, some amazing work, right? So next I would like to call onto the stage Lanre, who's going to be our moderator for the AYuTe Innovators panel discussion.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Heifer International AYuTe Africa Innovators panel session. I hope we all enjoyed the video. As you can see from the video, Heifer International created AYuTe Africa Challenge to catalyze ground-up innovation from young Africans and to make agriculture a desired career for the future. The AYuTe Africa Challenge awards a cash prize of $1.5 million to innovators across Western, Eastern, and Southern Africa. We are excited to have with us today one of the winners of the 2021 AYuTe Africa Challenge and finalists of the first AYuTe Africa Challenge. And I'm going to be bringing them on stage with me for the panel session. First, I would like to introduce our winner for the 2021 East African AYuTe Africa Challenge, Jahil Oliver, the founder and CEO of Hello Tractor. Jahil is the founder and CEO of Hello Tractor, the agricultural technology company that connects tractor owners with smallholder farmers in need of tractor services. At Hello Tractor, Jahil is responsible for overall management and strategy, and he has been honored with numerous awards for his work in social entrepreneurship. And we can see, based on the testimony of the tractor owners and even the farmers, that he's doing a great job. Prior to Hello Tractor, Jahil worked in consulting and investment banking. He lives with his wife and 2 daughters in Nairobi, Kenya. Can we give Jahil a round of applause? Next with us, we have Kwabena Fripong, Regional Director for Ignitia. Can we welcome Kwabena on stage? He's the Regional Director for Africa at Ignitia, a technology company that provides highly accurate, hyper-local weather forecast and advisory services to farmers and agribusinesses in the tropical belt. And today, we can see from the video the importance of weather information for farmers. And in the tropical areas, as he's going to tell us, it's a different ballgame than what we see on Google when we check the weather on our phones. Can we give a round of applause for Kwabena? And finally, we saw the woman that amused us all at the end of the video. We all know the name Pula now, and we're all clapping for Pula. Finally, we have Olufumbi Asumonu, the Partnership Project Manager for Pula Advisors, an organization that powers the resilience and profitability of smallholder farmers. Pula is one of the finalists of the 2021 AYuTe Africa Challenge, and we've been working with Pula to provide insurance for smallholder farmers in Nigeria. Please welcome Oluwafumbi Asumonu, Partnership Project Manager for Pula. Hello. All right. So we're going to start very quickly the panel sessions with our 3 panelists. And I'm going to start with a question for everyone. I'd like Jahil to start. But we all know that there appears to be an agreement that young people don't want to be in agriculture. The perceptions about agriculture, smallholder farmers being illiterate, farm work being backbreaking, we all know, deters our young people. We don't want to work in agriculture. That's what they say. What steps can be taken to destigmatize this perception? And can you also share how your innovative approach to agriculture is improving the lives of smallholder farmers and encouraging youth participation in agriculture? Jahil, would you like to start?
Sure. Thank you, Larry. So I think there is this prevailing narrative around making agriculture more attractive for young people. Much of that is driven by demographic trends. You have markets like Nigeria leading the world in urbanization rates, putting a lot of pressure on population centers like Lagos. But it really comes back to the ability of young people to make money. I mean, I think in these environments, we talk about making agriculture sexy. I've never really quite figured out what that meant, but I do think that when you have an opportunity to make money, you can absorb youth and the labor force that is now trending towards these urban areas. At Hello Tractor, we do introduce technology so that young people can access digital tools to book farmers within their community. These young people we refer to as booking agents, and they serve as a digital conduit to connect smallholder farmers in the community to farm equipment owners who use our technology to track and manage their equipment. This earns young people a commission-based income with the opportunity through the tractor finance program that was highlighted within the video. Unfortunately, we didn't have any singing borrowers. We'll have to,
yeah, but you have Peace. You have Peace, the booking agent. Yeah.
We do. And so these young people, once they reach critical mass of farmers within their network, they themselves can become tractor owners. Now, I don't know if it's sexy to be a tractor owner, but it makes good money. And it brings a tremendous amount of value to your community. And as a result of that, you see young people chasing after this opportunity, and hopefully that'll create a growth flywheel effect where you have more people coming in, not only to be booking agents, to be operators through our operator training program, to be mechanics through our mechanic training program. There's an entire ecosystem that forms around innovations that increase productivity and income in these rural communities, thereby creating job opportunities.
Thank you, Jahil. Coredo?
Thanks, Larry, for the question as well. So for me, I think there needs to be more sensitization of the population regarding how agriculture is now compared to before when it was more subsistence. I think I really don't like to hear maybe farmers are illiterate. I think they have not had formal education, but it's not that they are illiterate. From what we do, we've realized that farmers are able to recognize keywords, like after some time, even if they have not been to the classroom before. So that for me needs to be going well. I know a lot of developmental partners are doing well with sensitization on how agriculture is today, so that it can be more attractive also for the youth. But that needs to be increased. That's in the effort both by the government and the private sector. And regarding the work that we do at Ignitia, we are providing accurate weather forecasts for smallholder farmers in the tropics. And we have realized that even if weather forecast is available for farmers, it's not of accurate, because largely the weather forecast like we see on our phones are optimized for the temperate zones and not the tropics. So we are spending more time to see how best can we get weather forecast for farmers, which is more accurate and can be used for their farming practices. So the impact that we've seen is largely around the change in behavior. You know, rainfall patterns are changing, and the moment you get the planting dates wrongly, automatically it will affect your yields. So we're helping them to make data-driven decisions on when to even plant, because we try as much as possible to get a seasonal outlook for the rainfall and which value chain best fits, and even to the kind of variety that you need to select for the kind of value chain that you want to cultivate. And through that, they are saving time and also saving scarce resources like seeds and the fertilizer, like we saw in the video. So I think that is one way that we're looking at it. And in terms of the youth, we've started piloting a model called the agripreneur model, which is quite something similar to what Jahil was saying. We are identifying youth in the communities and equipping them with our technology so that they can aggregate demand for our services with farmers, and then we do revenue sharing with them. this through this is making it more attractive for youth to know that at least there are some innovations and technology that can help to make agriculture more lucrative than how it was before. Thank you.
Thank you very much. On my end, I think the first thing I would look at is branding. You look at different tech industry in Nigeria, for example, there's a lot of coolness to it, right? You see that people continue to talk exclusively about the work that they do and how they do it. You go on LinkedIn, you go on the Twitter community, it is there. The presence is there, the branding is there, the consistency is there. There's a role model community that people look up to that they can want to be like. In the cultural sector, this is very limited. Once people hear agriculture, they're thinking about the farmers in the field, nothing more. Not the yellow tractor, Jerry, for example. Very few people would be aware of what he is, who he is and what he does, right? It's like, the first thinking is farmers on the ground. So I think a lot needs to be done around branding. Second is we need to build career development centers in institutions so that people are not just falling into agriculture. You find that most people in Nigeria, for example, they probably apply for courses like medicine and surgery, and then they don't hit the cutoff mark, and then they put in agriculture, and that's how they get to agriculture. We need to get to the stage where people understand the career prospects in the agriculture industry, and they are coming into agriculture not because they fell into it, but because it is a career prospect that they understand. And finally, just to buttress the point that Dayo was making around value creation, like it is projected that the agricultural business industry in Africa will be a $1 trillion business. That's money to be made. This market exists. There will be 8.6 billion people in the world in 2030 that needs to be fed. That's a market that needs to be attended to. There are a lot of food insecurities right now. There's not enough production because we lost 1/3 tons of food that are produced in the world. We need to be able to communicate to the youth that this impact is massive and that we need to be able to move people from job seeking to job creation through entrepreneurial thinking. Those are the 3 ways that I believe we can move this forward. Around the work that Pula does, I'm really glad about the video that was played earlier. We were radically restructuring agricultural insurance in the world and in Africa especially. I'm very proud of the work that we do at Pula, and I communicate this. Even when my friends are like, "Oh, what do you do?" I'm like, "This is what I do." I'm like, "Oh, that's so cool." That is the coolness that we are talking about. At Pula, when we radically provide agricultural insurance, in the market there's weather index insurance. Weather index insurance only covered weather-related impacts like drought and flooding. But farmers are exposed to more risk, like you were seeing in the video. There's pests and diseases that they are impacted by this landslide, this cyclone, and all of this impact of the climate change. But because the weather index does not cover this, we have brought in our area yield index insurance that cover all of this risk beyond drought and flooding. And that is how we have been able to ensure that farmers everywhere have access to their claims when they incur losses. For us, I'll give an example of the work that we did with the Central Bank of Nigeria in 2020. Farmers they faced both drought and flooding, and we're able to process the largest agricultural insurance payouts in Nigeria so far of 2 billion naira, which is about $6.5 million in that year. In Zambia, we work with the FIPS, which is the Farmer Input Subsidy Program, and we insure farmers' input as well. And in the frame we got there in 2019, we worked about 140,000 farmers, but we've scaled now to over 400,000 farmers. And when they incurred losses, we paid over $700,000 to these farmers that we had insured. And like again, just finally, how are we encouraging youth to come in? There's issue with the lack of access to finance, right? So people do not have enough finance to pay for inputs, fertilizers, etc. that they need at the start of the program. So we've launched our pay at harvest insurance model where we pre-finance the premium, we place the risk, and when you harvest and make produce, we both complete payout, and then you're able to pay premiums back. So these are ways that we are encouraging farmers to come in to invest, because then the youth are encouraged that their investments do not go to waste because they are already de-risked. Thank you.
Can we give them all a round of applause? So if I understand, I'd like to summarize, for us to bring youth into agriculture, we must look at the branding. It must be cool. It must be sexy. It must look like something they aspire for. We need to bring forward people like Jahil to be the face of agriculture. As much as we showcase the farmers, we need to bring people like Fumbi as well to be the face of agriculture. And people like Peace, who owns the tractor, and she's a young girl, and she already employs people. That is the kind of branding we're looking at. We also need to be able to showcase that there's money to be made in agriculture. There's so much to be done, and young people can find a place if they can think entrepreneurially, and they can try to solve the problems in the agricultural space. And we need to go back to the universities, to the TVET centers, and grab young people from there by ensuring that those that are really interested are coming into the sector even when they are in school. Not even the university and the TVET centers. You'll be shocked at how we can make a difference if we start from primary school, teaching our children that they can solve problems in the agricultural space. And I'm happy that all the three panelists have been able to showcase what they do at their organizations, and Heifer has been critical to that work based on the fact that Hello Tractor was a winner for East Africa at the 2021 AYuTe Africa Challenge, where they won a grant of $1 million, and Heifer has made additional investment in their business. While the two other finalists, even though they didn't win at the AYuTe Challenge, we've been able to work with them to integrate their work into our country programs in Senegal and in Nigeria. So these are innovators that are doing things, and we can see how their work would impact smallholder farmers directly. So I'll go over to Jahil again. So we know that the agricultural space has a lot of challenges, right? Now, how can we leverage, what can we do, or what could be done to leverage youth to drive more transformative innovation to address Africa's food security challenges?
Well, to start, young people, I'm saying young people, I'm not a young person anymore. I'm 40. I'm a grown man. So young people are always fastest to adopt new technologies. I still order my mom's Ubers from different countries all over the world. I have to order my mom's Ubers, right? She's very slow to adopt that technology. Young people are, their ability to get up that learning curve is incredibly fast. They haven't developed that muscle memory around what works yet. And so they're open to new ideas. And so they form our target audience for our new innovations because they have that higher appetite for risk. Now, agriculture is not the most innovative industry, and for good reason. Farmers only have 50 to 60 chances throughout their life to succeed. And if you mess up one or two times, you can lose your entire farm. And so you have to be very thoughtful about what risks you're willing to take. And as entrepreneurs, and how I'm sure everybody on this panel will agree, we have to sometimes insulate our customers from that risk as we test out our new ideas. And so while young people are going to be faster to adopt new ideas, as an innovator, you still have to be responsible for the outcomes. And so there's a responsibility factor there. But I think that by targeting these young people, you will get, these higher conversion rates and, to adopt your new technologies and these new innovations. So that's where we focus. You're welcome.
Thank you, Jahil. All right, so I'll move to Olufumbi from Pula. We know that growing and harvesting seasons have become unpredictable as a result of climate change. Africa, though we contribute the lowest to the greenhouse gas emissions, we are the hardest hit when it comes to climate change. How can smart digital practices and youth innovation help smallholder farmers transform the agricultural landscape?
Thank you. I would say, first of all, that we at Pula are youth-driven. We are 64% youth. So we are youth-driven at Pula. And we are constantly building and developing scalable digital solutions that enable farmers' adaptability to climate-based risk like drought and pests and viral diseases. And we are also doing this through our innovative technology that we employ in the dissemination of agricultural insurance. For example, our polar insurance engine called PI, popular insurance engine called PI, we're able to price insurance faster. Usually it takes about a week to price insurance using Excel sheets, but with our insurance engine, we're pricing insurance in 48 hours. We have our Mavuno that's also built in-house, where we're able to digitize farmers' data. We are collecting farmers' biodata. What crop are they planting? When are they planting? Where are they planting? What is the size of their farm? We digitize this data and increase their access to financing because this data is available for input and seed loans company that want to support the farmers in doing this. We have our IVRO, we have our SMS, we have our USSD, where we are developing and distributing scientific directed agronomic tips and advisory services in the local languages. In Uganda, we use in Luo, in all of the local languages there, we disseminate information to the farmers, when to plant, how to plant, what amount of fertilizer to use, the specific type of fertilizer to use, the specific type of pesticide, the amount to spray, when to spray it, what is happening on ground, what is the weather saying, if there be an outbreak of locust, what pesticide to use to prevent the losses to this upcoming weather adverse seasons. And we'll do this also. We also do SMS, USD. We are currently going to even launch our ISMS with the OND season in Kenya, for example. So we are constantly using digital technology to transform the agricultural landscape by ensuring that farmers are aware of what is going on the ground and that they have this information available to them in the languages that they understand and are able to relate to. And like my president, the president of Pula likes to say, and if any of these things still go wrong, ensure that it is insured. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Fumbi. Kwabena, I'll go to you. I've said it severally as we started this panel today, that we know that, this sector is not appealing to the brightest minds, our young people, despite the fact that the agricultural landscape in Africa has numerous opportunities for more sustainable food production. Again, I would like you to expatiate or tell us more about how we can make agriculture more appealing to young people, drawing from your own personal experience of how you got into this career in the agricultural space.
You have to put your mic off. Right, so I think there needs to be conscious effort by the government and also private sector to make it more attractive. So I will raise the first point about the land tenure system. So we all know land ownership within Africa is a big issue. Even it gets worse when it comes to you even being a woman. So we were having a conversation, I think yesterday, myself and Dayo, where we were talking about even how expensive it is to clear land and also even prepare land. So imagine doing all this kind of investment and after a year or two, the land doesn't belong to you again and someone is coming for it, or it has to be fragmented because there are other family members that needs that. Nobody, or especially the youth, who would like to do that after making some investments, and it can be there for you to use it in the near future to come. So one thing that needs to be addressed is the land tenure system, which I think will go a long way to help. The other thing that I want to talk about will be the improved knowledge in agricultural system or the ecosystem as it is, both technologically and also letting people know about the business aspect of agri. I think there are a lot of technologies like we've been hearing here at AGRF. Most farmers, I'm sure, if you get to know that if you want to start agri and you can prepare your land, you can have tractors and all that to do that. And it's not about the cutlass and hoe. It becomes more attractive, and even how you want to plant and apply fertilizer, you're getting agronomic information and weather services. And even to de-risk your investment, you have, say, insurance from Pula and all that. I think it makes it more interesting. And one other thing is people still don't see farming as a business, like still looking at it as one of their subsistence farming or something. The grandfather left the land, so I have to cultivate it so that we can get food. So improving the knowledge gap in that is also one way to help. The other thing that I want to talk about is market access. I think there are a lot of innovations, there's technologies, and everyone saying if you adapt, you can improve your yield. If you improve the yield, what next? I'm sure everywhere in Africa you go, farmers are having this bumper harvest, and it's just by the roadside, nobody to buy. So imagine that creates a lot of post-harvest losses, and nobody really wants to spend so much time doing this tedious job in the field as a youth, and at the end of the day, I get this harvest and there's nobody to buy. So creating the enabling environment for market access is something that will also help the youth to be interested. And the last one I would like to talk about is technology and innovations. How do we really innovate around that? I think there are a lot of possibilities and innovations around, but the access and how do you really get access to that, to even try it out, to know that it is really good for them to make investment is not that. So that kind of support to help youth try out this technology and innovations, I think is a way to go to help and make agriculture more attractive for the youth. Thank you.
Thank you, Kobena. And I'm going to go to the final questions. I'm addressing it to everyone, starting from Olufumbi. According to Heifer International's Future for Agriculture Youth Report, if you would like to get the full report, please visit the Heifer stand. It's available, and you can download it online. But what we see at Heifer is that 23% of youth involved in agriculture report using any form of agricultural technology. Noting that access to finance, access to land, like Kwabena just mentioned, the lack of training and sensitization are three key barriers to youth engagement in agriculture in Africa. What role do you think the private sector and government play in closing all the gaps that we have and youth consider as barriers to going into the agricultural sector?
All right, thank you. First, I would maybe say the technological apathy might be because the youth farmers think that the technology available do not directly address the challenges that they face, or that the available technology that do address the challenges that they face are not cost efficient because they cannot afford it because of the lack of access to finance. And for the government and the private sector, I believe they can work in partnership to be able to, first, through subsidization, cost subsidization for the youth farmers, for example, to ensure that while they are having access to this technology that is available. And we've seen at Pula that the proof of concept, the availability of proof of concept increases uptake, right? So if farmers are able to test and see, okay, actually the cost benefits for this is actually higher than I thought, they are more willing to take up technology. Another thing would be investing in long-term policy creation. Very few African countries right now has a lot of policy around technology use in the agricultural sector. So ensuring that there's enough funding set aside for that, and partnering with private sector like Elo Tractor or Pula, for example, and work that IFAD does to be able to ensure that these youth farmers have access to technology and their uptake. That this will also increase technology uptake. I'd also commend the work that IFA is doing through this competition, this AYuTe competition, providing financing to farmers and specifically targeting technology innovators. I think is a very important work, and through that, I believe that we are able to provide affordable technology in the market that farmers can then uptake. Thank you.
I would just want to add one point to what you earlier said, and for me, I think the results from the Heifer study doesn't really differ from what we see, and there have been a lot of policies that have been formulated around that. But the issue is the implementation of these policies that we see on the paper. I think there needs to be that conscious effort to really implement what we write as policies. I've been to several sessions where people talk about maybe climate finance or maybe access to finance. IFAD so several developmental partners talk about where you can find it, but the reality is how do people really assess this, or how are these policies being implemented? So I think we should move more from what we write on papers for people to write and see is really being done to the actual implementation of this, and that could also help solve this. Thanks.
Yeah, so I mean, if you look across the world at the 5 or 6 bread baskets, the U.S. Midwest and the Canadian prairies, Brazil and Argentina, northern India, and parts of Pakistan, eastern China. These are the regions of the world that grow all of the food that we eat, and in these markets, Pula is free for farmers, or their version of Pula. Ignitia is free for farmers, or their version of weather. Tractors are about 30% less than they are in Africa. And the farmers who finance those tractors, the interest rates vary. In the US, the base rates are 2%. In Nigeria, the base rate is 14%. The math don't math. So we can innovate, right? And everybody on this panel is thinking about creative ways in one of the last free agricultural markets on earth to be competitive and bring technology to our growers so they can be competitive, but the math don't math. And so for those who are interested in real meaningful development in the agricultural sector in Africa, think about how to selectively use incentives, subsidies to be competitive and form a competitive ecosystem, because it's only so much margin you're going to get on a plot of land. Our growers let's use the Kenya market, for example. We've been focused a lot on wheat recently. Our growers are doing about 14 bushels an acre, and they're expected to compete with growers in the Midwest getting 44 bushels an acre, and they pay for everything, and a grower in the Midwest pays for nothing. And in 2019, the US government paid 20% of farmers' profits came directly from the US government. And I sit in conversations, I'm gonna get on my soapbox for a second here, but I sit in conversations with development organizations, USAID, and multilaterals like the World Bank, and they talk about how you don't want to distort the market. Well, it's global agriculture, so if you don't want to be involved in the business of market distortion, don't work in agriculture, because every single food basket has highly distorted the market. And so what we're doing is trying to innovate around that, and it's close to impossible. It's commendable what everybody's doing, because in every other market, these products get paid for by the governments. They're not private products. Tractors are, but there's a whole lot of support behind with low cost of capital, with local manufacturing. These machines are, significantly less expensive. So let's be thoughtful about the systems, the global systems that our farmers are producing within, and how we can innovate around that, both from a policy perspective, but the application of subsidies to make them more competitive. And then as a secondary concern, we can introduce innovations to boost yields around the edges.
Wow, very deep insights from our panelists today. And on that note, I would love to hear from our audience. We have microphones floating across the room. If you would like to ask a question to any of our panelists, please raise your hand and we will get a microphone to you. We have a few minutes to take questions. Thank you.
Thank you, the panel, for that incisive and edifying debate. My name is Benjamin Musungu. I'm the founder of Limafy Solutions in Kenya, and also a finalist of Africa Youth and Technology Challenge 2022. I have twofold questions.
Thank you.
The first one addressed to the wider panel. on syntactic interoperability. So how do you deal with a case scenario whereby the farmers do not have information or do not understand the system language? So how do you reimagine digital extension, for instance, without putting into context smartphones and literacy? The second question is still on interoperability, but addressed now to issues to do with regulatory frameworks in countries. And I think one of the speaker mentioned that he has footprints in more than one country. And I believe that they have different regulatory frameworks to govern the IT ecosystem. So how do you circumvent such kinds of framework even in your operations? Thank you.
You're free to take the questions. Jahil, start.
Don't give me the hard question. Well, let me talk about the regulatory piece from our perspective. We sell fleet management technology, which has GPS, which is highly regulated all over the world. Every single country has their own regulatory requirements and certifications to sell that hardware. And it usually falls within defense, which is overly regulated and very difficult to get these certifications. What we did, because it's so costly to get certifications in every country, is within our technology stack, we built robust APIs that can speak to existing devices being sold in the market, so that the basic, we can effectively leverage on the devices that are already being sold and not have to get new certifications in every country we need to be in. And that allows us to work we're in 14 countries in Africa, we're in a few in Asia and the Americas, and we don't have to get certifications in those countries because Teltonic is already there selling devices, CalAmp is there selling devices, and our APIs talk to those devices, pull the data in, and then run it through our analytics layer to make the data relevant to a tractor owner versus a car owner or a heavy truck, tractor trailer owner. So that was kind of our approach. It was basically using technology to circumvent the regulatory requirements on things like hardware. And then as far as localization, I mean, booking agents use our applications, not the individual farmers. And everybody on the panel has some version of that. You can think of them like Extension or, Ag Advisors, and they kind of they form those linkages across the last mile, not only because of the language piece. I mean, our app is in, 5 or 6 languages, but more importantly, just the digital hurdle to just book your farm. And it's very difficult to get the customer up that learning curve. And one agent can have hundreds and sometimes thousands of farmers. So your cost of acquisition on one agent is now covered with hundreds, if not thousands of farmers, the amortization of that cost, versus trying to go down to the farmer level, do the same training, do the same sensitization of the technology, but now that's just one customer with a $5 customer acquisition cost versus one booking agent, $5 customer acquisition cost spread across 500 or 600 farmers. You see what I mean? So that's kind of been our approach.
Would any other person like to? All right. Okay.
Right, so the first question that you also asked, so what I want to also add to that is what we try to do is we look at the customer segmentation and to be able to find out which dissemination channel really works for the other. So we currently working in West Africa and say Brazil. I'll bring that one in because you spoke about smartphones. What we've realized that, for example, in West Africa, smartphone penetration is not that good, because most access to smartphone for the farmers is not really that. So we currently doing more of SMS to the farmers, but with the extension agents, we have the app version for them. And we realized that even if, like I was saying, that farmers have not really had more formal education, they can still recognize some words. So we're using human-centered designs to come up with keywords. So for example, a typical SMS that a farmer will receive will be today, no rain, tomorrow, likely rain. After some time, when farmers see this, they will really understand what it is. We try as much as possible not to make it really long and complex. Like maybe the relative humidity is this or the rainfall is 50 millimeters. The farmer doesn't need that kind of information. So it's about how using human-centered designs and seeing what really works for the market and the segments that you want to work with. All right.
Just to add on to the second part, because I believe that the first part has already been adequately answered by my other panelists. We at Pula, for the second part, also leverage these partnerships. In Nigeria, for example, we work very closely with Leadway because Leadway is already has all of the certification that they need to be able to do insurance in Nigeria. In Kenya, we work with like AIC and the rest. AIC, ARC, we work with them in Ghana, in Uganda, Kenya, and across the different markets. So we are leveraging partnerships as well, in addition to like the ways we already do this. Also, for the data is very critical because we collect a lot of farmers' data. So we are ensuring that we are not leaking any farmer data down. And we are also compliant to all of these regulations, but we also leverage a lot of partnerships. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Unfortunately, we won't be able to take additional questions. I'll have to end it here because we have another important agenda for today, and it's exciting. So we're moving from one exciting session to another exciting session. And before we do that, I would like to thank all my panelists and thank the audience. I hope we all enjoyed this panel session and we learned a thing or two. Thank you very much for having us.
We had an esteemed panel of judges this year, and with us today is Barbra Chivandire, General Manager at Reimagine Rural Africa, Higher Life Foundation. Please, could you join me on stage? We also have right over there. Thank you. We also have Barbra Muzata. Barbra is the head of corporate communications and brand at Corteva AgriScience. Please join me on stage. And last but not least, I would like to invite Ken Lehento. Ken is the Digital Innovation Strategy Consultant at FAO. Please join us. We would like you to share your insights and your highlights on the overview of the contestants and also what you expect from them, please.
Good morning, everybody, and thank you so much for this great opportunity. Just to say thank you to Generation Africa for giving us a front row seat, really, to see some of the innovations the young people begin to bring forward. So we had a very good time going through the various applications that came through. Congratulations to those that made it past the top 70 onto the top 24, and then we narrowed it down to the top 12. So what we found is that certainly it gives us hope that the future of Africa is in good hands because our young people are beginning to find solutions for the pain points that our smallholder farmers have. And we know that this is very important because our smallholder farmers are the ones that are bringing most of the food in Africa. And quite frankly, when we look ahead at population explosion that we're expecting, Africa is going to be the food basket for the rest of the world, not just for Africa. So it's very, very important that we get the young people, which are our biggest population demographic in Africa, to bring forth that dividend that we expect from them. So we really had a good time just going through that. What was striking for me is the fact that they have an understanding of what the pain points are. So we had applications that began to look at dealing with issues around what are the pain points of smallholder farmers. Access to capital is one of them, or access to finance for inputs. So they innovated, some of them innovated around that and came up with a solution, digitalized solution, to get funding to the smallholder farmer. So that's pretty commendable, and I think it should see some growth there. We also saw some of them really work at aggregation, getting the food to the market. Very, very important. Another serious pain point there. And because, like they say, it's really, this competition has set the platform to have young people more interested in seeing just what the value chain is and what the opportunities are along the value chain. So that I'm very happy about. So what do we expect from our young farmers, the ones that have, or rather our young innovators that have won this competition, is in our organization, High Life Foundation, we coined a phrase, cultivate your star quality. And what is star? 7, leadership. You are a leader by virtue of having come this far in this kind of competition, which is across Africa. You become a leader. So 7, leadership is very, very important. Your type of leadership style, learn, continuous improvement, continue to innovate, protect your intellectual property, very important. The T is for tenacity. The road is not easy, it's bumpy along the way. You've got a good technology, so tenacity is very, very important. You will find times that you want to give up, look up, find mentors, surround yourself with people that will feed the vision, and discard those that will kill it. So that's tenacity for you. And accountability is A, right there. Very, very important to be accountable. So watch your every dollar, watch your every step, stay humble, keep your eye on the goal. And then R is for responsibility. You are responsible. The responsibility is greater because we believed in you, and many have also believed in your vision. So take it on with humility and look up to those that have walked the road and have done well. We've just seen Hello Tractor and the other guys that have done so well. That's the journey you're going for. Thank you.
Thank you. Ken, could you please share with us what you expect from our contestants?
Yes, okay. Thank you very much. First, I would like to say that FAO is very pleased to be involved in this activity. And we would like to thank AGRA, AGRF, Heifer International, Generation Africa for this opportunity. I would say that it has been very tough, actually, to go through and review these applications and select winners. I've been involved in different selection processes of Pitch AgriHack, but I have to say that this one is one of the toughest that have been involved in. We had great applications, so really, I would like to encourage and congratulate, actually, not only the finalists, but all the applicants, really, that have been involved in this edition of the competition. It is a really great thing that we have seen. So first of all, this is what I want to mention. And then, I would like to say that we really need to better support them, especially the young innovators. We often say that we need to reduce the food import bill, but this means as well reducing the technology import bill in Africa, particularly the digital technology import bill. We need to support them because they are not only contributing to transforming our food systems, but they are also creating jobs for themselves, first of all, for other youth, but also for the entire community, for the country. So this is really important to support. Another thing that I would like to mention is that we really need to encourage them to improve their business models. We know that many stakeholders complain that digital agriculture services currently are not always effective. Farmers are not willing to pay them. This is also because there are various reasons for that, but this is also because some services are not really effective, are not compelling, and we need to really encourage our young innovators particularly to improve their product. As I was saying, we need to support them because currently, if you consider the investment, particularly the private investment that goes into the technology entrepreneurship, only 6% of that investment is going into agtech. So AgTech is not benefiting from enough support. So all stakeholders really need to support them. And I would really like to encourage and to congratulate Heifer, for example, through this AYuTe competition that is really supporting growth in that specific sector. So this is basically what I want to share. And once again, congratulations to all the participants of this competition. Thank you.
Thank you, Ken. And Barbra, please let us know what you expect.
Hi everyone, my name is Barbra Muzata, and I am from Corteva AgriScience. And for me, having come into agriculture 10 years ago from the IT world, I can say that I've found my home, and youth are the most important people for me in agriculture. I came in and I was told, well, there are no young people in agriculture who are interested in agriculture, and that is not true. Because when you look at the numbers, 2021, we had 632 applications. 2022, we are at 2,138 applications submitted during this contest. I had so much fun. I got to meet the contestants, not just face-to-face Zoom meetings, but getting to know who they are and challenging them. I think I had a good laugh the other day when one of them looked at me and said, listen, Judge, you don't understand my product. This is what I'm doing. And afterwards came over and said, go try it. If it doesn't work, come back and tell me. And the passion in that for me tells me that we're doing the right thing and tells me that we need to invest more in making sure that our young people get more encouragement and funding to pursue, their dreams in agriculture. I met people who are closely, very acutely aware of the challenges in their communities, and as a result have stood up and said, this is what I'm going to do about it, and this is the business I'm going to run. I met people who are so willing to get out of the box and do things differently. For most of us corporate people who are old, I am old, I can safely say that I'm walking away with a different mindset. I'm going to look at things differently. And that includes marketing to young people. I was sitting there and thinking, we probably could have done videos with young people, Dickson, Heifer, for the future, because we want to attract them, and that is the sexy. You are asking what exactly is sexy. There's money to be made, there's opportunity. Let's use the same people who are making the money, the same demographic, to actually attract them and show them the possibilities. And finally, I could go on forever because I'm passionate about young people. If you come to me with a project and it doesn't have youth in it, it might not get the support that you're looking for. So hint, hint to everyone who's asking for funding out there, we need to think about the young people. The old people are, 60 times the opportunity that you referred to. I think we're nearly at the end of the 60. So why don't we go back to the 19 and the 20 and give them a chance to actually excel? To young people, even if you haven't made it through this competition, you are still a winner. You are brave enough to come and stand in front of us and tell us about your business. However, as you walk out of here, of this conference, the networks are phenomenal. I can tell you the number of people I've spoken to, I'm walking away with so much insight. Approach the people. I know it's scary. Sherrie here, I didn't know when I came here. I'm walking away with Sherrie's details. And the next time I'm in England, Sherrie, I'm coming over and we're going to talk and see how we can do business together. That's how it all happens, right? Please continue trying. Don't despair because you didn't make it today. But as you continue trying, learn from whatever mistakes you've identified. Use those insights and move on and keep going in your business, right? And finally, we need you to go and spread the word. For me, 2023, I'm hoping that we will be talking more than 2,138. We will be talking 10,000, There are some countries, Dickson, that are not even featuring in the entry, in the competition. We need more countries to come forward because Africa is 54 countries, right? So why should we end up with just a few countries from Africa participating? Let's get to 54. And we can get to 54 if all the sponsors who are listed on this board insist on an element of a youth program included in the requests for sponsorship.
Wow, thank you, Barbra. I'm almost curious to ask, where does young people stop and old age start? Because it seems like there's no middle ground. So. Honestly, all of you, thank you for just being so supportive and mentoring these young people and just being people that they can look up to. And thank you for your kind words of wisdom. I felt a lot of energy going over to Dickson. So I think you've got a lot of work to do. Hopefully you're not sweating after all of this. So thank you. And speaking of Dickson, I'm actually very excited to invite Dickson Naftali onto the stage. He is the head of Generation Africa. Welcome. Funny story about Dickson and I. We've been presenting the Go-Getters for the last couple of years together, and he's so humble. He never introduced himself as I'm Dickson, the head of Generation Africa. Who are you? So this whole time, I've just been thinking for the last couple of years, he's just this super nice guy who just helps us out as an extra MC, and here he is, my boss. So you're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Sherrie, Silva. Thank you, the judges. Thank you, the audience. Thanks for gracing this occasion. You know, youth are our future. And the judges have said it all, you know, growing from 600 applications to 2,100 applications and getting the 6 best here in Kigali. You're going to meet them very soon. I had a speech of encouraging these young people, but I'm not going to read it out. Instead, I think I'll give a chance to 2 people to just give their 60 seconds words of wisdom, because I have all the chance to interact with the young people. And we have a fellowship program that they're joining now. And so we are going to continue to link them up to incubators, accelerators, and other business people that are going to make sure that they succeed. It doesn't end at just winning a few thousands of dollars, but it's about scaling up their businesses. Yesterday, I introduced the 6 to Google. Awin of Google is here, and he said naturally they just fit into their program and they're going to get support. We never know who we'll meet today, tomorrow, and this is how we roll. So I really thank Heifer International for the sponsorship, and of course that AGRF platform to make sure that Generation Africa is able to do what they do best. So the 2 people I want to quickly give the words of wisdom to the youth is my boss at the AGRF, the MD AGRF, Jennifer Baarn, and then followed by Dayo Aduroja, the head of Youth and Technology Innovations at Heifer International. They're both sitting here. Welcome, Jennifer. Give her the...
Thank you, Dickson. And good morning, everybody. Let me just maybe stand a bit higher so that everybody can see me. This wasn't planned to be matching with the background, but I'm happy that it works. My 60 seconds. Thank you. To all of these young entrepreneurs and innovators who have joined the AGRF platform. I know that you have joined us because, there are business opportunities, you're young, you're eager, but to be honest, you are so critical to the development and the transformation of this continent and the rest of the world. I am one of these people that is, I think I've surpassed the young, but I'm still young at heart. And part of that being young at heart comes from the inspiration that we get from entrepreneurs like yourself. The AGRF is a platform that is dedicated to support African governments and their partners in transforming agriculture, because we do believe that agriculture is the engine of growth for this continent. I have said it before and I'm saying it again, and I got this wisdom from one of our partners actually. The new color of gold this century going forward is going to be green. Consider all of yourself gold diggers who are creating an opportunity for this continent and the rest of the world to be more equitable, more sustainable, and more prosperous. It's not always easy to see agriculture as an opportunity, right? When people talk about digital space or they go into consultancy. When I grew up, it was, well, what do you want to become? A doctor, an economist, a teacher maybe. But we really, really have to change and shape the narratives. And one of the reasons why I'm proud of you is because we realized a long time ago that you're actually competing with entrepreneurs from all over the world, whether they're in Mumbai, whether they're in London, whether they're sitting in Tel Aviv, because globalization is happening at a pace that is unprecedented. But this continent is the new frontier. Because it's the youngest continent, it will see some of the biggest transformation in terms of urbanization. It's also the continent that is facing tremendous pressure on its natural resources, and it's a call for leadership and action. And you will play an important difference in that respect. So I want to call or inspire you to do something. You are a youth. We applaud that. But really try to also envision a few years from now, when you're my age and you're standing on this platform and you're looking at the next generation, what do you want your legacy to be? It is partly about your enterprise, it is partly about your products, but you're a change maker and you're part of a bigger movement. So, congratulations once again. You are at the forefront of thousands and potentially millions to come. And as you were already invited, make a lot of noise, because there are a lot of people listening now. Because the current situation that the world is in, we know that you will be the driver of growth. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jennifer. I knew that you're going to drive it in the way the youth wants to hear it. Dayo, please.
Thank you, Dickson. It's always been a pleasure working with you. Great work going on here. And I must say, exciting times. Good morning, everyone. If I can start, or if I must start by saying, I think there seems to be an aggregation. Everything we're saying here seems to be coalescing towards an equation. Okay? I can summarize all that is being said here with an equation. Now, what do you think will happen if we were to combine agriculture with youth and technology, like Jennifer just mentioned? What? We have Africa's transformation. That is AYuTe Africa Challenge. Good morning again, everyone. My name is Dayo Aduroja, and I'm the Youth and Innovation Lead for Heifer's work in Africa. Now, we believe strongly that the future of Africa lies in the integration of youth technology into agriculture. The future of Africa cannot be achieved without the young people. The young people, our youth, have the technological capabilities. They have a tech muscle to innovate and solve the problems that we have in Africa through agriculture. Now, for us at Heifer, we have designed the AYuTe to address these challenges. We identify strong companies who are doing a great job addressing challenges faced by smallholder farmers and providing them with the technology and the financial support they need to go to scale. Now, the AYuTe Africa Challenge is one of those platforms, And like we've seen through the work that Hello Tractor, Ignition, and Pula are already doing, we are transforming the landscape and addressing these challenges. They are going ahead to solve the problems for smallholder farmers, millions of smallholder farmers in the short term, and are creating jobs, and jobs for the future. Now, the Pitch AgriHack challenge, like we are all aware of, is just one of those other channels as well, through which we are addressing this smallholder agriculture, these challenges for smallholder farmers in Africa, and of course, leapfrogging agriculture. So, for my words of wisdom, I mean, essentially, our hope is that you take all of the great work that has been invested into this process. There's financial support and there's technical support as well, going into supporting all of the work that you're doing. We are providing you with the mentorship as well. The AGRF is an amazing platform to leapfrog the work that you're doing. And of course, we want you to go out there and mentor more and more young people. We want you to be strong role models. Indeed, agriculture is sexy. Agriculture can be the job of the future. It is the occupation we want to be elevated. It is the occupation of the future. We want to invite all of our innovators who are going to Silicon Valley to innovate to come to Africa. There is the potential there. Agriculture is the biggest economy for Africa. The youth, greatest asset in Africa. Tech innovation, exponential multiplier, exponential leverage. With this combined, we can transform Africa. We have the solution for Africa right here with us. And I hope that you take all of this, make the best of it, galvanize the future, and of course, transform Africa. Thank you very much.
Thank you. There seems to be a theme today about making agriculture sexy. But I would like to say that as United Nations IFAD advocate, one of the first things I did with IFAD was create this music video with a friend of mine called Mr. Easy. And we flew to Cameroon to a small village there where we met multiple inspiring farmers who have even managed to buy houses for their families through agriculture. And we filmed this music video where we were farming and we were dancing. We were farming and we were dancing. And the song says, farming, freedom, farming, freedom. So if you watch that music video, we ended up now taking the dance challenge to TikTok, and we got, I think it was like 100 million interactions. So many young people, because we need young people to get involved, but we realize young people don't necessarily want to sit in a room like this and listen to people talk about agriculture. But we knew that through dance, we were able to attract them. So we had a lot of young people join this campaign called, I think it was Dance for Change, hashtag Dance for Change. And this was kind of them standing with the young rural people in Africa. And we then took these statistics to world leaders and we said, hey, look, there's thousands of young people making these dance videos. Please invest more in the rural youths. So yeah, we did our little part to make agriculture look slightly sexy. And I think we have our winners here doing a great, even better job. Now, talking about dance, before I announce our winners, I want to get the energy up because we need to give them all the energy we've got, right? So can everyone just stand up, please? Just stretch your legs. I'm hearing some people like, oh my goodness. Yeah, that's it. Stretch your arms. Everyone just stretch your legs, stretch your arms. And now, everyone put your right hand up. Let's see who knows their left to right. All right, cool. So I'm going to do the opposite to you. So I want everyone to just step to their right. Good. But as you step to your right, I want you to just grab with your right hand. So you're just going to go, sorry, you're going to step to your right, but grab with your left hand. So you're just going to go 1, 2, then go back the other way, 3, 4. Yeah? You're just going to grab, step, grab, step. Good. 5, 6, 7, 8. Grab, step, grab, step. Grab, step, grab, step. grab, step, grab, step. Good. Excellent. That's the easy one. I'm just going to add one more move. Just one more. So everyone, once again, get your right hand. And then what I want you to do with your right hand is I want you to spin it like this. Sorry, can you put it on the screen so that the people at the back can actually see what I'm doing over here? Thank you. So get your right hand. You're going to spin your right hand like this, like a little windmill. Yeah? Good. Now, I want your knee to do the same thing as your right hand. Right knee, right hand. So what you're going to do with your knee is you're going to bend your knee in. So you're going to bend your knee, bend your knee, bend your knee, bend your knee. Good. Now with the arm, bend, bend, bend. Videographer, can you show them my knee? So you're going to, because I don't know, he's just showing my top half. I don't understand. So, ready? Right hand. DJ, can we have some music just to, you know, loosen them up a little bit? Yeah? Go on, DJ. I see some people practicing in the back. I love it.
Freedom.
Oh, this is the song.
Farming.
Cool.
Freedom.
Bend. 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 This is called the Guara Guara. Bend. We're about to go faster. We're about to go faster. Ready? 5, 6, 7, 8.
If you want your coconut, but you know still from me farm. Cause you own your own for freedom.
Hey, let's see. Okay. That's it. You can get really low as well. Hey, there we go. Hey. Hey. Come on. That's it. I love that. Okay, okay. Oh, you got a remix. Nice. Okay. Go on. Wow. I love these remixes. Well done, guys. So we're gonna go 8 times, step left to right, and then we're gonna do the Guara Guara, and then we're gonna sit down. Ready?
Money coming for buy more shares. In fact,
DJ. Well, that was fun. Thanks, DJ. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Look, everyone's like ready to do it again, and I don't know what technical difficulties are going on at the back. Wait, did Dickson dance? Because I didn't actually see what you guys were doing. Should we get our judges just to show us? Well, I'm really excited to call upon our Pitch AgriHack winners of 2022. So, in the, actually, can the judges join me, please? In fact, I'll join you. I'll join you here. Yeah, ready? So, in the early stage category, we have Imen Hibri of RoboCare in Tunisia. Congratulations. So, Imen's patented multispectral disease detector is minimizing pesticides and boosting efficiency by helping greenhouse farmers in Tunisia catch and treat infections long before human eyes can even see it.
I'm really proud to be with you. Really, I'm so happy to be with you. So at RoboCare, we help farmers to improve the efficiency of his land using hyperspectral and multispectral cameras. This type of cameras, they see them visible. You probably know the MRI or the medical scanner. Yes, you are using similar technology to scan all plants. Then we provide farmers agronomic information on the health state of each plant. So our main purpose is to prevent disease. So we know the state of the plant before ever the disease becomes visible to the human eye. I'm Dr. Iman Hbiri. I'm the mother of plants.
Wow, thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So next, in the mature, thank you. Next, in the mature or growth stage category, we have Hamis El Gabry of Mazari 3 in Egypt. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you for this.
You can say your speech from here.
So it's really an honor being here, and thank you, AgriFA, and thank you, Generation Africa. Thank you, Heifer, for giving us this opportunity to help smallholder farmers. I'm here from Egypt, and I believe I'm the only one from Egypt. I hope that next years and in upcoming years, there is more participation from Egypt and North Africa. We're all African in the end. Thank you for your vision to support small farmers. It's really impressive. And I want to say that Africa is a young continent, and for youth to lead Africa, it's important, and I hope that female participation can have more effect in this. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And so, Hamis, so Mazari 3 is an agri-fintech company that connects small farmers in Egypt to the agriculture supply chain, and their model combines contract farming, agronomic support, financing, and market access to increase yields and income.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Well done.
We're trying to provide 360 services around the farmer to enable the whole value chain. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So next, in the women-led agribusiness category is Esther Kimani of Farmer LifeLine Technologies in Kenya. Well done, Esther. Esther, this is really your year, honestly. Farmer LifeLine helps Kenyan farmers to get ahead of pests and pathogens with a propriety. Wow, Jesus. Propriety. I really did go to university and I did graduate, I promise. Solar-powered camera systems that leverage a global database of crop diseases. By using artificial intelligence, data analytics, and machine learning, they can deliver automated advice to protect crops. Well done, you genius.
Hi guys. First, I give all glory to God, from whom all blessings flow. And I'm grateful to my family, beginning with my husband, for their support. And to all stakeholders and partners. This would not have been possible without you. Thank you for recognizing hard work from Innovators. And for all other participants, I have learned a lot from you, and Farmer LifeLine will never be the same again. Thank you.
Congratulations. Please welcome to our stage our second group, the runners-up in this year's Pitch AgriHack competition. In the early stage category, we have Donald Mudenge of Zimbabwe. His venture, Mbeu Yedu, is digitalizing community seed banks to give smallholder farmers financial leverage. In the mature or growth stage category is Allan Coredo of Farm IT. It integrates satellite crop mapping, data analytics, AI, and market linkages to help farmers in Kenya achieve predictable incomes. Please come up. You can just keep coming up. And then in the mature or growth stage category, oh, I just said that one. And then in the women-led agribusiness category is Anapoka Adazabra of Farmio in Ghana, which builds cost-effective greenhouses with smart automation options, which they combine with their super app to connect growers to the agriculture value chain. Please give our runners-up a big round of applause. Congratulations. I, for one, cannot wait to see the impact that your business has on farmers. So, Pitch AgriHack wouldn't be a competition if there weren't winners ultimately. Thank you, and I would actually like to invite all the contestants to join us on stage, please. Wherever you are, please come up. Please dance to the stage, thank you. DJ, can we get some music while they dance to the stage? All the contestants, winners, non-winners, everyone. Thank you. And with that, I would like to bring all of these amazing and super fun proceedings to a close. Thank you again for supporting us, and thank you for supporting these youth leaders in the agri-tech industry. You have made this first proper in-person AGRF Summit very special. Thank you so much, and I wish all of you a safe journey after the summit. And DJ, please, as people leave, can you please put the music so that they can dance? And can all the contestants please stay for a group photograph as well as some interviews? Thank you.
Guys, what time is it?